Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Groove Lemonade number 34. My name is David Lemon. For those who may not know me, I am the product experience manager in the company called Groove Digital. We created this Groove platform for you guys so that you can use it, create your businesses online, and then start your online business journey. Or if you are actually on another platform, to transfer to us and then improve your online business journey. So we are doing these Q&A sessions every Tuesday and Friday where I come on live, I turn on the camera and I post about this basically so that you are on a Q&A. You can post your questions in the live Q&A over here on the chat box, or if you already added in your questions inside the Facebook post that goes up live as an announcement of this Q&A, then I would be able to see all your questions and we'll get those answered here immediately. Usually on the beginning, I do a short introduction and basically an intro while we get everybody to join in. And in case you already joined in case you are watching me, just please type in something to the comment section. Hi, David, I'm here, I'm watching, I have questions, looking forward to your answers, or something like that, so that I know that this is actually going live and you can see me, hear me, and everything is going well. So in case you're watching, I would appreciate just so that you type in something in the comment section. That would be awesome. Otherwise, I'm just going to go and start answering the questions. Okay, I can see questions already. I have Raghu watching us here. Kisha is here. Robert is here. Awesome. Perfect. Paul is here watching us. Great. We have a Facebook user here. So in case this is you and in case you are new in a Q&A, welcome. I would appreciate if you could head over to streamyard.com/Facebook. That would allow me to actually see your name and see your profile image so that when you're asking questions, I can know that this was you. And in case you have any follow-up questions, then I know that you asked the previous question. In case you have a questions, ladies and gentlemen, please put a little Q in front so I can understand that this is a question that I need to answer and it's just not something that you're answering somebody else's questions. I have Miles Sales here. I have Scott here, sounding great. Perfect. Thank you very much. And I have another Facebook user. So the same thing for you. If you are this person who typed in hi, I would appreciate if you head over to streamyard.com/Facebook, approve Facebook to access your details, basically your name and profile image, and then we will be able to communicate together better. Reagan is here. Hi, David. Hello to you all. So we are going to start answering the questions, and as you may know, the questions that we are answering first are related to the post that goes up live, that goes up to the Facebook group whenever we are planning to go live. This was the same thing today. We posted about this Q&A happening today, and we have a couple of questions on here. There is a couple of questions about the new custom domain setup, and I will be mentioning that today, and I will do a short demo for you, but I just need you to know that we are still improving that. We have a couple of error messages that show up on certain occasions. We have some new improvements that are coming in. I'm going to mention those as well. We have some tweaks here and there that are going in, but all in all, you can already set up your custom domains, and I'm going to show you. And this is one of the first questions that is here. Raghu has a question: can you show the new way to set up the custom domains? And if you are not familiar with the system that was previously, you can just follow what I'm going to show you from here. If you are familiar with a previous system and you already have your Cloudflare domains connected directly to Cloudflare, let me just rephrase. If you already have your custom domains connected to Cloudflare, you can still continue using them, but the oncoming domains you will need to connect to Groove directly. Okay, so if you would like to connect your custom domain, yourdomain.com, with your Groove account, you can do that very simply by heading over to the upper right-hand side corner hamburger menu, wherever you are in the Groove platform, and selecting My Account. From here, you're going to see your details from the account, but what we are interested in is this domains setup here on the right hand side. Once we go to the domain setup, we can click custom domains and then the button manage. This will bring us to the area where we actually connect our domains. So I'm going to connect a domain over here, and this will be a full domain setup, and this is the recommended way where Groove will handle all of the connections to the different apps, so you don't have to do that manually. In case you want to just connect your root domain, which is domain.com, and let Groove handle everything else, then the first setup is here that you would need to choose. So once you select this one, you click the next button, you type in your domain name, which would be, in my case, let's just use GrooveAssist.com. We're going to click next. And then you connect these name servers over to your domain name registrar. I'm going to show you a domain name registrar, which I use, which is Namecheap. This would work the same way with GoDaddy, with NameSilo, with Google Domains, with any other place where you may have purchased your domains. This will work the same. You just need to find a place where it says name servers, okay, or NS, or something like that, in order to be able to copy and paste these over to your platform. Let me just open my my domain on here. There we go. And now I am in grooveassist.com. This is the domain I am using. And here I found a place where it says name servers. And I'm going to copy over everything that it says here. So the first name server, click this icon over here in order to copy it. I'm going to paste in here to the name servers. Okay. The second one, major, I'm going to copy it over here and paste it in the name server place over here in the actual registrar where I purchased my domains. And then once you're done, there will be a check mark in case you use something like this. There's going to be a check mark that you can save these changes. After you saved the changes, there may be a couple of minutes delay, maybe an hour delay. It's up to 72 hours, I believe, delay could be. In most of the domain name registrars, it is pretty fast. And the Namecheap registrar that I'm using, it does this connection between the two platforms within 30 minutes range or so. So that's basically it, what we need to do. Once you save these, you are done with a connection. Then you come back to Groove, you can click the next button, and we'll validate the DNS records. When you click the validate DNS records, you have here successfully verified domains, and we can click complete process. Okay, so now we're done. We connected the domain name registrar with Groove. So now these two platforms are communicating together. That's the first step that we did. The second thing is we need to choose our primary domain. So which platform, or what do you actually want to have connected to your root domain? So in my case, the root domain is grooveassist.com. Let's just say that I want to use grooveassist.com on a Groove blog. Okay, this is my blog. I want to publish my blog to grooveassist.com. So I select Groove blog and I click this check mark, and it is now connecting the actual domain to Groove blog. Now we do have this error message that is popping up, and this is why I show that we are still working and tweaking some things. There has been a change. There has been an update recently to the system, and there are some things that still need to be ironed out, but this is mostly backend stuff. So this is why this issue came up now. But if we do this one more time, we'll have another error. So you don't have to do this once you actually wait a little bit. We're actually working on this fix now. After a couple of hours, you'll be able to connect your domains without any error messages. But let's just say that we didn't see that error message. Now domain is connected with Groove blog. So this is what we wanted to achieve. GrooveAssist.com is now connected to Groove blog because that's the platform that we selected earlier. And now we have a line below it. This line means that this platform is connected with our root domain. Okay. So in case you want to have pages, grooveassist.com, then you can connect GroovePages domain over here. This will be a subdomain, and then we can just type in pages. We'll have pages.grooveassist.com. This is now a subdomain that we connected over to GroovePages, the platform for managing our websites and funnels. If you want to have, for example, a checkout link, you can click GrooveCell and create something like checkout for GrooveCell branding, and then just click this checkmark icon, and now you have checkout.grooveassist.com, and so on. So let's just click the update button and let's come back and see everything that we did so far. Okay, so now as you can see, these apps are now highlighted, or actually we brought in some color into these apps because we connected them. If you would like to go and manage these further, you can go into each and every one of these apps and add on new stuff. Okay, similar to GrooveCell, you can add on a new subdomain, or you want to connect GrooveMember, you can go in there and do all of that. The magic with a full and recommended setup with Groove is that whenever you go in into any of these apps, you don't need to separately set up your own DNS records. The DNS records are something for technical people, or for people that understand what this means. These are these records, like A records, MX records, TXT records, CNAME records, and things like that. In case you don't want to mess around with these ones, you don't really have to. What I just showed you so far, this is good enough to know. Whenever you connect any of these apps, it will automatically work for any of these apps. But let's just say that you want to connect a domain that you already have on a different platform. For example, you have a website on WordPress and you want to now bring over your domain from a website that you're using on WordPress. You want to bring it over to Groove and use, for example, Groove for a membership, or you want to use Groove for a funnel and not only the WordPress site. You can use this for Wix or ClickFunnels or anything else, really. I'm just explaining you the WordPress setup. So in this case, you need to use the subdomain setup because your root domain is already connected to a different platform. Would it be ClickFunnels, WordPress, Wix, anything else, really, Squarespace? You can use a subdomain setup and connect your domain to work with the other platform that you have. Or this could be also easily Cloudflare. So let's just go on to click the next button, and here I'm going to type in groovelock.com. Okay, because GrooveLock is a domain I have connected to a WordPress site. I'm going to go and see if I can log into my my site so that we actually go to the whole setup. Let me see where I have that. So here we get the TXT record. If you're following my screen, yeah, you can see my screen. So we get the TXT record, and we'll need to just add this TXT record into the verification. See if I can also connect Cloudflare. Maybe that could be faster. I cannot find my hosting, so I'll see if I can find a different domain. I'll choose a different domain because I cannot find the login details from my hosting very quickly. Okay, but hopefully you're getting to understand this a little bit better. It is easier than what we had previously, for sure. So you're going to be able to much easier connect your domains. Let's see, where do we have this? Okay. So I have a domain called groovelemon.com. I'm going to connect this with a subdomain. So I'm going to click next. And now here I have the TXT verification, TXT record that I need to add into Cloudflare or WordPress or anything else that you're using really for as your root domain management system. Okay, so now I'm in Cloudflare and I came in over here to my domain. I clicked on my domain and I'm going to go to DNS. This is where I add the DNS record that Groove just gave me. It said create a TXT record for the record below. Okay, so I'm copying this over, coming to Cloudflare, and I'm going to create a record, which is add a record, txt, use at for root, and just type and just paste in the content that I copied over from Groove. Once you're done, we can click save. And that's basically the verification. That's the Groove verification. Now when we're done, we can click the next button and it will say that this went through. We can now go and validate the DNS record. And it says here, successfully verified the domain. It shows up behind me. You can probably not see it from the banner, but it was basically a nice little green box which was saying that the domain was verified, nothing fancy. We can then complete the process, and now we have groovelemon.com connected with Groove. Now this domain is handled somewhere else. This root domain is handled somewhere else, so I can only create DNS, the subdomains, and this is the difference between these two domains. The upper domain, you'll not be able to go to the DNS records, because the DNS records, these txt, mx, and the other things that basically say with my root domain, connected here, connected there, connected everywhere, that cannot be done for this, because I don't manage this domain on Groove. I manage this domain in Cloudflare or WordPress or my own hosting or wherever you may have that. So in case you connected only a subdomain, you need to manage the DNS records separately. So let's just go in and then create a scenario. Let's just say that I want to host my website on groovelemon.com, but I want to use GrooveSell for the payments. So I'm going to create a checkout for GrooveSell branding, and I'm going to click this check mark. What this will do is that I can create now a checkout page, checkout link with this subdomain, checkout.groovelemon.com. Okay, so that's basically the gist of it. Now I don't manage the root domain, but I created a subdomain, and we're going to go update this. I'm going to go into the domains, and then we can see that the GrooveSell is connected to the subdomain checkout.groovelemon.com. But that's not enough for our happiness, because in GrooveSell, because we don't manage the domain through Groove, we need to create a CNAME record pointed to the get-direct.groovesell.com in case we're not using Cloudflare. If we are using Cloudflare, they need to connect to get.groovesell.com. Okay, and in this case, we're using Cloudflare, so we're going to listen to this process. So we're going to create a CNAME for get.groovesell.com. Let me show you how that is done. So we come into our Cloudflare account and we create a record, which is going to be a CNAME record for checkout. We created checkout.groovelemon.com. So we need to create checkout.groovelemon.com. And the target will be get.groovesell.com, because that's what it said over here. If we are using Cloudflare, then we need to connect to get.groovesell.com. You cannot see it from my head. Let me just show you here if we are using Cloudflare. Okay, so there we go. Now that is done, let's just go and click save. And now we have actually connected our domain with Groove's subdomain, okay, that we created. We connected this subdomain to work with GrooveSell. So now we have done the process, and now we can go into GrooveSell and actually create a checkout link or a checkout page with this domain, and we can rest assured that it is going to be published. So let's just test it out really. So we are now in GrooveSell. Tools, checkout forms and links, and this is where we actually set up our checkout forms and we decide on what domain they will be. Actually, no, sorry. We set this up on the product funnel level. So in case we have, for example, my LemonAid book, let's just go into actions, edit funnel, And here is the domain setting. So here I select the actual the domain. So I have checkout.groovelemon.com. I'm going to click the update button. And now whenever I get a link through GrooveCell, let's just say for this, it's going to be giving me a link with checkout.groovelemon.com and then yada yada. So let's just see if it works. And as you can see, it works. It is loading in the checkout page over here, and then it has my custom subdomain over here, checkout.groovelemon.com. So there we go, guys. This is the same process for the rest of it. In case you want to connect your domain with Groove and let Groove manage everything, then you do the first step, basically add a domain with the full domain setup. If you would like to have a subdomain on Groove, but your other domain is managed somewhere else, but your root domain is managed somewhere else, then you can use the subdomain setup. And that's the whole thing that needs to be known about subdomains. I mentioned something that we are going to be adding on, and the things that we are going to be adding on is at this moment, if you connected your domain through Cloudflare and you were using, oops, that's not Cloudflare, that's Cloudflare. If you connected your domain through Cloudflare previously, before we had this integrated setup, you'll not be able to have a new domain connected through Cloudflare with that setup in order to use a root domain. Okay, as you saw now, our domain management works with subdomains and external systems. We are still looking into how to manage that, but there are some security issues, and we don't want to allow any security issues. So for now, you can only use your subdomain with domains hosted outside Groove, or in case you want to have a root domain managed with Groove, then you can use the Groove's system for the full domain setup. Okay, that's the one thing that we are looking into. We are looking into also adding in more functionality in here, and we're actually working on that right now. We will be adding in a drop-down option here, and we'll have a couple of different things, like for redirecting a domain. You'll be able to create custom redirects that will serve as a kind of a short URL or a pretty link for this domain that you added in. So for example, I want to create a redirect link for my pages. I will be able to click here the drop down menu, just say if somebody types in grooveassist.com/get it now, redirect it over to that XYZ page, and things like that. We're also going to be doing a catch-all, which is maybe strange sounding, but it's going to be a catch-all for the pages. Instead of the default 404 page of Groove, you're going to be able to set up a catch-all. So in case somebody comes to grooveassist.com 1234566xx, that page doesn't exist. So we're going to be able to set up a custom 404 page or something that basically catches all of the pages that don't exist, that are not published on that exact domain, and we're going to redirect them back over to that 404 page, or even your home page, or wherever you want to connect that catch-all redirect. Yeah, these are just some of the things that we are working on for this DNS management, and it's going to be very cool once we have that. But for now, as I mentioned, and you saw it as well, there is a couple of error messages that are still popping up that we are still working on. But the deployment that went live was a fix for when you were adding in an Amex record over here. You were not able to set up the priority. This priority field was missing, and this is kind of very important. Also, inside GroovePages, we added on a little bit of easier system to manage the subdomains. So when you go and choose your custom domain, you'll be able to choose the custom domain you want and where you want to actually publish this page. You want to connect it to your root domain or to a subdomain. If you select root, then it's going to be grooveassist.com. in case you select a subdomain, it is going to also allow you to see your subdomains that you created so far, but also to create a new subdomain directly from the page here. So this was the update that we added on. There is a couple of things we're still tweaking with this one in order to get those error messages out, but that's basically the whole thing that we that about the custom domains. So hopefully that helps. Yeah, Susan, I saw your post over here. You were most probably looking for old tutorials. There was a couple of updates to the system since you since the video that you saw. Here is Susan's comment over here. She was connecting the domain to Cloudflare and then was looking to connect from Cloudflare to Groove directly. And then when she wanted to do that, then we are actually giving her name server. So Susan, if you follow this guide that I just showed you, you're going to be able to connect your domain without any issues. Okay, so this was kind of a lengthy demo about the custom domain setup. I showed you how to work with it. I showed you what's coming. There are still some things that we are tweaking, but overall, it's a much better experience than what we had previously. Cool. So let's just answer this question from Raghu over here. When Zapier will connect with GrooveMember? And I need to say, Raghu, I don't know. We're still waiting for that ourselves. It's in Zapier's hands. We are waiting for their approval. I asked one question in the last webinar to connect 3 different opt-in with MailLite with Zapier from 3 different websites inside Groove. I created 3 zaps, but how Zapier will know which website form will go to which list? I have tried many ways, but didn't work. It's actually pretty simple. So let me just see if I can demo that for you. Okay, I will create 3 different pages. I don't have any forms on this page, but I'm going to create 3 different pages that is going to use forms. So let's just use, this is going to be one of the pages, event registration page. Okay, it has a form. We're going to use a different page. I'm going to show you with 2 pages. That's going to be more than enough. And this one. Okay, so now we have 2 pages. One is this one is this one. Okay, there's a slight delay. Here we go. So what we need to do is create 2 Zapier connections. This is going to be the Groove event Zapier connection because that's the name of the page, so that we know. Oops, here. Upper right hand side hamburger menu, my integrations. As you can see, I have quite a few Zapiers already. So we're going to select Zapier and we're going to connect or call this Groove event. Yeah, we're just calling this Groove event. Okay, we have now a Groove event Zapier connection. The next Zapier connection that we have is going to be oily. Let's just call it oily because this is how the page is named. Zapier oily. Here we go. Groove event and oily. 2 connections for 2 pages. So now we have a form on here, which is asking for the name. Let's just type in name and nothing here. And I have email, and that's basically it. So now I have this form for name, this form field for email. I have a form submit button, which is set for submit. And then I have a form container where I will select an integration. So you can see this is a form container that was selected. I'm going to select an integration, which is Zapier. But for this one, I'm going to choose oily. Oily is the integration I want to use. And here I decide where do I want to redirect. I'm going to redirect them over to my home page. Okay, this is the first page in my site. So there's that. Oily was now set up and it's been saved. So let's just go over to this Groove event form. And let me just set up the text to be black in here. here as well. And let's just set up this form. In here, I want name, and then the placeholder is already set up. That's fine. And then the email, I want to type in email, and then the validation type is also set up. The button needs to be form submit button with an action submit, and then the form container needs to be connected to Groove event, because that's the actual Zapier connection I created for this page. I'm going to redirect this over to my home page as well. Okay, so once we are done, I'm going to just publish this over to GroovePages subdomain quickly. It's faster in that way. So I'm going to type in Zapier test. Zapier-test. Okay. I'm going to publish out the whole site so that we have all of the pages up and live on this subdomain. So let's just check it out. Perfect. This is the Zapier test. This is the home page, and we have the actual second page, which is the page 2, and is this one, and the page 3 is this one. So now we have 3 pages. One is the home page where we want to redirect people after filling out the form, and then we have 2 pages that we created Zapier connections with. Now we go to Zapier. Okay. And we just say we want to create a new Zap. The Zap will be starting with Groove funnels, and the event will be new form submission. Okay. We are going to be choosing an account. Now you should know which is your account. I don't really know. Let's just see if we have. Okay, this is the one, because I have a couple of I have one Zapier account connected to a lot of different accounts, but here we can see that we are seeing the 2 new connections that we created together. So one is Groove event and the other one is Oily. Okay, so because I'm now setting up a Zap for the Groove event page, I'm going to select Groove event and I'm going to continue. So now what we did is selected the form. If somebody fills out the form on the Groove event page, we're going to actually receive something in here. So I'm going to click test, and actually we didn't test it out properly, so we're going to do another test later on, and that later on should be actually now. Test page 2. Here I'm going to type in David Lemon, and the email will be david@groovedigital.com. Register, we're sending, and this is successfully sent. We're redirected over to our homepage. Okay, so now the page 3, we're going to type in Adam Mellon, and we're also going to use I don't know, some of my emails that I have here. This one. I just want to trigger an event, and this will be a Gmail. Okay, so this form part in Groove worked. Now the rest is handled by Zapier. So let's just continue on here. We're testing the trigger, and if we come back, we should be able to see data B pulled in seconds ago, and here we can see that all of the information we submitted are my name and my email. This was for the Groove event page. Okay, so now I want to trigger an email. If somebody fills out the form, then send an email, or you can just use very simply MailLite or really anything. Let's just use Google Sheets. Let's just use Google Sheets just so that we kind of see this visually. I'm going to go into Google Sheet and create a quick sheet where I'm going to say Zapier test. Here I'm going to say name and email. Okay, and the sheet 1 will be used for Groove event. Not see from the banner, but here I typed in the sheet name is going to be Groove event. Now I'm going to duplicate this one, and this is going to be for the oily. Okay? So now we have 2 sheets with the same information. This now has been saved, and we can create a spreadsheet row, and we're going to select an account, which is this one. And basically this is the same thing you would do in MailerLite as well, just for populate the fields. Zapier test is going to be the spreadsheet. In the worksheet Groove event, I want to create this, and the name will be this one, and the email will be this one. Okay, continue. We can see test and continue, and as we tested, it immediately populated this information on here. Let's just do turn on the Zap. Now let's just do another test saying turning on your Zap, and now the Zap has been created. So let's just do one more test where we go and open up page 2, and we're going to type in Anna Banana, and we're just going to use anna@banana.com, and now this information will populate over here. Okay, register now, sending successfully sent, and now we already have anna@banana.com. All that information was sent out through Zapier. So the same thing would be set up for the second page. We'll just select oily as the integration for the Zap and not this one. So hopefully, Raghu, now you have a better understanding on how it works. Oops, I actually want to choose a different integration, not this. I don't really know how to go out, so I'm just going to create a new Zap. Or actually, we could just duplicate it. We could duplicate the Zap, what we created already. Let's see if we have an option to duplicate. We can copy. There we go. So we have an instant new copy, and we go in and modify this one. So here we'll just need to change the form. So we want to trigger a new Zap from a form oily and not from the Groove event. There we go. And we want to see the data pulled in seconds ago. That's the one. And when we want to just populate this in a I copied over the wrong Zap, but the same thing happens here. So we want to populate the name in here and the email in there. Okay. And we can just click continue. And here on this oily, we now have nothing. But if we actually click the test and continue, now you can see that it pre-populated. If we would now go and test out that oily integration in GroovePages, it would work because it just works. So there's that. Raghu, hopefully now you understand. You create 2 integrations in Zapier. You create 2 Zaps and connect it with wherever you want to go. Both of my demos so far were kind of extensive and in detail, so hopefully you liked them. I actually want to share my screen one more time so that we go to the next question. So Raghu, this is how you created it. It works if you follow this tutorial. Anyway, to add WhatsApp chat, add Groove page at the bottom right of the page. There are widgets that you would need to use. One of the widgets that I suggest is ElfSite. ElfSite.com. This is the name of the page, ElfSite. Okay, here you can see all sorts of different widgets that they have, and they have also all sorts of different stuff that you could integrate with. WhatsApp chat, there's a bestseller. You can integrate the WhatsApp chat. It's basically a widget that you can try. Some of their widgets are for free. Some of their widgets are paid. So I wouldn't know if this one is paid or free, but you can just test it out. You can click this create widget button, and then there's just one code that you need to paste into your page, which comes either in the page settings, or if you want the whole site to have that little widget, then you add it in the site settings. And I'm pretty confident that it goes into the head section or the body section, but either one of these fields, you need to paste that code that elf site gives you, and then you're good to go. It's very simple to set it up. So there's that. Elfsight is my go-to platform for any kind of widgets or like photo galleries or anything really that you want, because it's very simple to set up. It works, and at this moment, as you can see, there is a birthday sale that you can get 50% discount. I'm not promoting it; I just use it, and that's why I like it. So there's that. As you can see, it immediately logged in on my end. Let's just see. Paul has a question. Hi, David. GroovePages. Could you please demonstrate publishing your site to subdomain if you're not going to change the name servers and host the main domain on Groove? We use this by assigning the subdomain and selecting no. Yeah, I kind of showed this with the custom domain setup. There may be some issues with the subdomain connection because we're still tweaking. Let me see if there's any updates from the devs. There is no update so far, but in case you have your custom domain and you connect a subdomain instead of a root domain, then you just select that, and then you can either create a new subdomain, which let's just say paul.grooveassist.com, and then you select this subdomain, and you can just publish out your page on this subdomain. I'm not quite sure if this will work because of these tweaks that we are still doing and these little fixes, but that's the way it will work. So if you can just follow that, in a couple of hours, we should have a fix done for these. Yeah, it's publishing, but this is how it works. Okay, Susan, we commented on that. In my funnel, I have freebie coming through GrooveSell. Should I also use GrooveKart? It's a physical product. It depends. Do you need any of the functionalities from GrooveKart? Do you need shipping? Do you need any kind of extra plugins that are connected to GrooveKart and not to GrooveSell? If the answer to that is no, then you really don't need to integrate GrooveKart as well into your whole process. If it's kind of simple, then you don't really need GrooveKart on that. If you have products that are like you have different variants, you have a lot of different options to choose from, GrooveKart would be that place. But but you don't have a way for it for the moment. You don't have a way to deliver a freebie through GrooveKart. That's just not what GrooveKart is created for. GrooveKart is a web shop platform. It's not for digital marketing. It's for really selling your products. It's not for kind of delivering freebies. Let's just see if this, yeah, it didn't publish because we have this issue on there, but if you follow this setup, you're going to get success, Paul. Okie dokie, so let's just go and see your questions that you posted in the live stream. Hi, Francine. Yesterday I selected to have my self-help online course showing the affiliate marketplace, but it's not there. Affiliate is also selected in GrooveSell. How can I ensure it shows? It takes a couple of days for it to show because it actually goes through a system of checks in order to show up. Please check back at a little bit later, maybe in a day or two. But if you set it up correctly, if you turned on the affiliate marketplace to show, it should show up. It just takes some time to actually load in there. And this is because of these checks. We want to check in the back every platform that goes out there. In the marketplace, the category should be named self-help self-help person development, but it says personality development. Will that affect SEO? The marketplace doesn't have anything to do with SEO. If you're thinking about the search of the actual the search bar in the marketplace, then it's not going to be doing any kind of difference. We can change this, but at this moment, what the search functionality does is searches through your product that you set up there. Okay, please show us a sneak peek into GrooveMail. Okay, so GrooveMail is coming along very nicely. Let me just log into one of our test servers. Give me just a second. Okay, here we go. So this is the test server for GrooveMail. We are working on the dashboard over here that users will see once they actually come into GrooveMail. This is going to be completely changed. What we have currently is just, it was good for the start, but it's not good for, like, this is what we had and this is what we will have. The last thing that I know that we were working on is the actual form section, and I demoed that in the last Q&A. We now have a different UI for custom fields, as you can see here, and we have a UI for forms. In case you're creating your form, let's just say demo form, and you can manage everything basically in here. You can manage the title, you can manage the description, you can also manage these different fields, you can add new fields with a newer UI, you can also change the button of the form, like let's rock and roll. I don't know how to type today, but there we go. Now you go and set up your subscribers, tags, sequences, opt-in settings, success URLs, welcome settings, and then at the end you can actually go and click the embed button to embed the form. We also added a nice little tab for quick selection, so in case you go into the opt-in settings or welcome emails, it scrolls you down to that section. And let me just select list. Okay, yeah, and you can create lists and tags from that screen. Before we didn't have that. As you can see now, we can create a list from the form from tab. Save and oops, I didn't want to do that. Next, and here we can see the embed URL. That was the last change. Before that, we were working on the broadcast with the same UI. We have broadcasts and sequences. Broadcasts are getting got a new UI very similar to what forms have. It's a step-by-step wizard setting up the campaigns. And for the sequences, I don't think we did that yet, but let's double check. Best sequence. We will be having a new UI for this one as well, but as you can see, we didn't change this yet. Let's see if I can show you how the sequences will look like. It's pretty fun. What you're seeing here right now is the drag and drop system, but at this moment we are not happy with how that looks like. So we're going to be changing that into a nicer UI. It's still going to be similar to what we have right now, but more things will be set up on screen and on page. Let me see where we have that. Cannot find that. Yes, I thought I can see it. Oh yeah, here we go. it's going to be this way. So here you can see we are setting up a sequence. This is how it looks like. Then we will have a little bit more color in the sequences. It's going to be looking very similar to what we have now, but a little bit updated, a little bit refreshed. Whenever you're doing something in a sequence, at this moment you're doing it in the sidebar. Wait, let's see where we have that. Edit. Whenever you go in create an email, for example, you're setting everything up here in the sidebar, and we hate that. We don't want that because typing in a very limited space is not good for anyone. So now we are adding in this real estate in the middle of the screen, basically setting up tags, lists, forms, and then yeah, this is how you configure the trigger. Then this is how an send email looks like. Instead of this over here, send email trigger, we're going to have this one, which is a nicer way. First, you're going to set up the sender subject and the preview, and then the next screen is going to be for the message. You're going to have a nicer way of previewing the email, nice what you see, what you get editor and things like that. But that's just the basic editor that we have. We are going to be improving that and adding in more functionality, which is going to look like this. This is still being planned out, but that's the email builder we are planning to have. That's coming in the future rollouts. We are planning to have a full email builder for nicer emails where you add in components like images, videos, and columns and things like that to look like this. Okay, we want you guys to have the best emails in the world, and this is going to help us with achieving that. So you'll be able to create buttons and all sorts of stuff in the email. And this type of builder is going to be used in GrooveMember as well. It's going to look very similar, where you click and add on sections to your membership. So hopefully this gives you a sneak peek into what's coming for GrooveMail. Is there a way to outline text so that it pops out more? We don't have an outline built into GroovePages at this moment, or in GrooveBlog, or in GrooveKart. Outline is something that you could add as an image. You could add text with outline as an image, or you could use some custom CSS in order to achieve that. At this moment, we don't have that option in the builder at this moment. Hi David, how can I decide which platform connect to root domain? I'm using GroovePage and GrooveMembership. Well, it depends. Where do you want your people to go? If you say, for example, visit anywong.com, what do you want to see? Do you want them to come to a login screen for your membership, or do you want them to go to your website? Most probably you want them to visit your website to learn more about your products, and then when they are members, they can click the login, and that will redirect over to members@anywong.com, for example. So my suggestion is use GroovePages, or use some sort of a sales system to connect with your root domain. People are used to go onto the root domain and find a website. And if you are having a membership, then just do a subdomain, which would be member.yourdomain.com, or access.subdomain.com. Not subdomain, access.domain.com, or premium or platinum or something like that. Basically, that will let your customers know that that is the access to a membership. Hi David, I tried to add a few subdomains last week, but they didn't go through. Could the requirement for subdomain be at least 5 characters be removed? Yes, we did that with the latest update. Now when you're going to add a domain, And let's just choose, I don't know, this one, for example. Let's just choose Groove blog. As you can see, this is 4 characters. We can just type in blog.groovelemon. We can also do SEO.groovelemon.com, so it's not 5 characters anymore. We reduced it to 3. You cannot do okay, because it needs to be between 3 and 63 characters. But yeah, that has been reduced in this last update. Let's move on. What do you suggest we do with custom domains that didn't flow through as they should, and it's been more than a week waiting for support? Kisha, I'm not familiar with your setup, and I don't know what your system of connection was. But if you have a way of managing the DNS records, just connect them direct to Groove. If it's still giving any issues, then I don't really have an answer for that one. They would need to look into your account for that. If you can reach out to the support team with a new ticket with all of the stuff that you asked them, and say, for John Garcia. John Garcia is the manager, and he would be able to look into it. But I don't really have a way of giving you a right answer right now. Please give us an update and or preview of GrooveQuiz survey. GrooveQuiz and survey is, at this moment, the developers were put on the tasks of updating GrooveMember. So the GrooveMember new portals that you saw is the work of the GrooveSurvey guys. So as Mike mentioned on the Groovathon, we're going to come out with GrooveQuiz and survey, but first we want to improve the current platforms, and that is in effect already. So at this moment, our devs that were working on that are basically put on the task of making improvements on the core parts of the app. So at this moment, there are no other updates. There were mockups that I showed previously, but at this moment, there is nothing new on that part. Some important subdomains are not possible right now, such as prmydomain.com, blog domain, easy names, training 5tm. You cannot do PR because that's 2 characters, but blog and 5tmm domain, like at this moment, we don't allow less than two characters. Let's say I use all platforms in Groove. I should use pages, connect to root domain, then the rest use subdomains. Yes. Yeah. GrooveMail coming date. It already came out as to some of the users already. Some of our VIPs are already using it, but at this moment we are sending out 40,000+ emails in a sequence, and you must have received some of those emails already. If you did, it would be appreciated if you assist and open each and every one of those emails, because that will help you guys send out emails and get your emails in the inbox. So the more you open, the more you click on the emails, the better your email delivery will be. So at this moment, that's the stage we're on. We are not releasing it yet to the public, because now we have improvements on the queue. We are now sending out 40,000 emails, and we just need to improve the actual queue of the processing of the emails. We're finding out things to improve along as we go. So at this moment, there is no date for the public release. We already started rolling out to users again. So hopefully soon you will be seeing it there. There used to be an option to copy and paste source code at Groove page on the top right. Has that moved to another location? It was easier to use that option than share link. Yes, Paul, we removed that for the users. We don't have that option anymore because people were abusing it, copying other people's sites, and we don't want that. We don't want to allow that. Also, there were issues where users were messing around with the source code, and they couldn't fix it, so they were very unsatisfied because we couldn't find out what kind of issues they caused to the source code. So we removed that. At one time there were like 100 plus support tickets because of that. So we don't allow tinkering with the source code anymore. And with every other cloud hosted platform, they will not allow source code editing due to these things. So we removed that. Yeah, we don't have that anymore. What's up with video uploads not working now? Scheduled downtime? I don't know. I haven't heard anyone else report that. Let's just double check. Okay, add a video. I'm going to select the video from my computer. Okay, I'm going to see any other questions in the meantime. Okay, it's Daniel Martin. Perfect. Let's just see. Hi, David. I need assistance with setting the funnel for my supplement products. I purchased the lifetime version of GrooveFunnels, but I have not been able to start using it. I purchased the lifetime membership at the beginning of this year. I even paid the ClickFunnels membership, as they have programmed to help you develop your product funnels by taking you hand by hand. ClickFunnels membership is different than the GrooveFunnels. That they wouldn't be able to assist you with setting up your Groove products or Groove systems. The best thing would be to reach out to users in the Facebook community if you need hand holding while you build out your systems. I'm seeing that this uploading takes a long time, so we'll need to double check this one. Can you just reach out to devs? That shouldn't be that long. So yeah, there's something up. This is not scheduled maintenance. Let's just choose a different video. Okay. I reached out to the devs, so hopefully we'll see an update soon. Let's just test this one out. Okay, yeah, so JNS believe I would suggest you reach out to our Facebook community and either have somebody help you create your funnels, create your business on Groove, or you can hire out that tasks so they actually do that for you. At this moment, you could learn it yourself. You will learn it yourself as well with videos, but I guess you want to move a little bit faster. You are mentioning that you purchased ClickFunnels membership, as they have programmed to help you develop your product funnel. But that's nothing to do with Groove, unfortunately. ClickFunnels is a different company, and the code and the funnel that you create there wouldn't work with our system. So yes, Daniel, I'm seeing the same issue as you, so we'll need to see what happens. I reached out to the devs. Okay, moving on. Any suggestion on dealing with domain management for domain that were previously connected? I have an open thread with support, but wonder if you have the quick fix. No issues with a new domain, but I can create subdomains for existing domains managed in Cloudflare. I don't know what this, because I haven't seen any issues with my domains. I also had some domains in Cloudflare. I was trying to replicate some of these issues. I couldn't find out. So Eric, I'll need to look into this. I'm pretty confident that you have similar issue with Keisha. So I'll have a look and try to replicate, but I don't have a solution right now. We'll need to see with the team on how to sort this out. Can you use subdomains for GrooveKart? And actually, we are working on that one. At this moment, you can't yet, but very soon, within the next weeks, you will be. Yeah. So how you're managing your domains in Groove, this is how you're going to be managing all of your domains. So you can connect your website to have yourdomain.com store.yourdomain.com will be your GrooveKart store. Blog.yourdomain.com can be your blog, and so on. So very soon we will have, within weeks. What's a good third-party quiz builder alternative to use for now that embeds in GroovePages? Literally almost any form or quiz builder would be integrated. Almost all of them give you an embed code, so there's really not a best one that I could use. You could use some of the popular ones, Jotform and Typeform and Typekit and the other ones, or you could go a little bit more less known. There is a lifetime deal for a form builder that I could suggest to you. Let me just know where that is. This is Flow Forms or something like that. I need to double check. I'm thinking this is on Dealify. There is a form builder lifetime deal happening on right now, and it's pretty good. Users are saying high praises about that form builder. Let me see if I can find it, and for some reason these images are not showing up on this page. I'll need to double check and I come back to you. I'll find this comment in there and then I'll come back. But there are GrooveSurvey. There is also one for that's called tally.so. It's a great one. I use it myself. There's another one, questionscout.com. This is also a great one I use. There is also hold on, I have some of these. Response Suite. ResponseSuite.com. This one is also a good one. I used it myself. The UI is pretty outdated, but they have very good setup, and it's easy to build surveys and quizzes. So you may want to use any of these. Question Scout and Tally are powerful and very easy to set up. So it depends which ones you want to use. All of them will give you an embed code to embed to GroovePages. Okay, sorry, I skipped over some of the questions. Let me just go back. Mark has a question. First, let me say hello and thank you, David. In the course I made during the Imperfect Action Challenge, I made a lot of sequence email follow-ups that are not going out with GrooveMail being down. Yes, the emails are not being sent. Should it shut that course down until GrooveMail is back up and running? I'm only asking because those emails are in follow-ups. Those emails are follow-ups to my sign-up form. Mark, don't shut anything down. Just set it up with a different system. In GrooveMail, you have the automations running, the forms are running, collection of leads to a list is still running. Just the actual sending out of emails is currently not working. So that should be the process. Don't stop with something that you're already created. Find a way to use it with something else in order to send out emails. So for example, in automations, you can set up if somebody fills out a form or if somebody gets added to a list, then add them to an integration like MailChimp or ActiveCampaign or Aweber or something like that, so you still have options to send out email. Update on share links that still brings blank first pages. That has been fixed up to my knowledge, so you should be able to not have any issues with that anymore. Let me see, where can I get GroovePages? There was a client or a customer that was using share links, and whenever we tried to import those share links, the full site came in blank. And as you can see, this was the site, and now the site is showing up nicely, or showed up nicely. Let me just see. Okay, yeah, so he created a blank page as a first one, and the rest of the pages were here. and they were delivered nicely. This is a template he's giving away, but the first page he did blank. But for example, if I would create a share link from this settings, share site, we shouldn't be getting any more empty pages. I'm going to log into one of my other accounts. And we should be seeing 3 pages: the oily page, Groove events, and then the digital marketing whatever page. There we go. Groove Assist, digital marketing agency, Groove events, and oily. Oily. That's 3 eyes. That's fine. So as you saw, it works. Try to create new links, Kisha, and that should work. Is there another way a Groove page can be shared with a client as the share link isn't working? It is working, Paul. Not sure what issues are you having, but it is working. Hey, David, I tried to delete the block that I saved in a new category at Groove Pages, but it's not deleting the block. That we need to get tested out. Report it on the feedback portal. We'll need to look into this. When I signed into my paid account GrooveCM, my affiliate program link takes me to Groove Asia homepage. That was not always the case. I've sent in a Loom last week. Is there anything I can do at my end? I wouldn't know, but let's just double check on my account. This is an account I created last week. So in here we have a GrooveCM branded page, Groove Funnels. Let's just see where this brings us. GrooveFunnels.com. Upgrade page goes to GrooveFunnels.com. Package description also. Groove Live webinar with Simon Leong. Groove Digital. GrooveKart. It could be an isolated thing on your account, Joanna. I'm not quite sure. And GrooveCM branded. Okay, so far all of these links work as expected. I'm not on an admin account anymore. This is not an admin account. This is just a regular paid account that I have, and everything checks out. Let me see if I can see on a free account. Okay, so this is a free account, and let's see in here, groovefunnels.com. I guess it will all work. I believe you, Joanne. Could be that that's the case. I don't really know how to fix that. So if you already reached out to support, they would be able to assist. I don't really have a way to point you in the direction, any direction right now. So I would appreciate if you reach out to a support team, please. Okay. Sorry about that. This is what I wanted to press. Had a video sit all night, didn't clear past uploading. Okay, we'll have a look into it. Sorry about that. Hey man, how are you doing? Thank you very much. Good to see you, Dwight. I know I asked question a million times. When will we have the ability to edit the menu in GrooveKart, more fonts, and also print on demand partners? That's by the end of this month. We will have that option. We'll not have the option to edit the menu. We'll have option to change the menus. We're adding on new menus and a little bit of configurations in the menus, but more fonts and print on demand partners. Print on demand partners actually is a tricky thing because we reached out to quite a few of them, and they have their closed APIs. They don't want to integrate with us at this moment. We are working on a public API for our side of things, and that will bring in more connections, and more people and more companies will want to integrate with us. Some of the companies we reached out to, they said that they don't want to work on an integration with GrooveKart right now. But I'm pretty confident if we do an open API and allow customers to create their own platforms, we may also have platforms like Oberlo and other companies that create these kind of connections with these e-commerce platform come to us directly, so we don't have to reach out to them. At this moment, that's kind of been stalled because of those platforms not really interested in doing any development on integration with us. So at this moment, there's not much we can do about that. Only create and finalize our public API, which is being worked on, and it should be done in a couple of weeks. Most probably not by the end of this month, but probably by the end of next month, we should have it. Sorry, I just missed it. For which company offering a lifetime deal now? I need to double check. I don't fully know. Let me just try one more time. Flow forms. There is a form platform that people are praising, and I need to just have a look quickly. I'm going to answer a couple of questions. Hopefully I can find it by the end of this training. Yes, that's been my workaround to create a page a fake page first. Yeah, but now, as you saw, Kisha, it's working on my end. Have a look at yours as well. Thanks for updating me on the share link. My pleasure. Part 2, actually, on the left, when I select affiliate program and reloaded the page, cleared all cookies and still get Asia for the affiliate only. Not quite sure, Joanne. That would be probably something that the devs would need to look into, because as you saw, I checked on 2 of my accounts. One of them is an upgraded paid account, and the other one is a free account, and I'm not getting any kind of issues on that part. So okay, I don't know what that means. What about Lulu Express with GrooveKart? I don't know exactly which ones we reached out, but I'm confident that when we have a public API, they will be coming to us. Hey, David, question: will we eventually have the capability in GroovePages to show hide specific blocks based on whether a visitor has a tag or subscribed to a list? I would love this feature. That's definitely a good feature to have, and I would suggest you to go and request it on the feedback portal as a feature request. At this moment, we don't really have we don't have this in plan, to be honest, but that's not where we're staying. We are improving our platform all the time. Also, a lot of people don't really actually understand that we are going to do an SDK. An SDK, that means that we're going to integrate with platforms that we don't have to work on. Like Groove as a company, we don't have to work on. For example, last Q&A, there was a couple of, I believe, 2 people asking about pop-ups for GrooveKart that may never happen from Groove side of things. We may never develop a pop-up platform, but there will be an SDK, and that is happening by the end of this year. We already started working on that, where we can create a package that companies that created already pop-ups, for example, Opt-in Monster and pop-up plugins like Optinly and other ones, they could actually come and create their own plugins for Groove. So this may be the same thing as well. Somebody else could create a plugin which has different functionalities, or adds on the functionalities of hiding and showing blocks, for example, in terms of what tag is added to a customer that is previewing a page and things like that. This may be something that we developed, but this may not be something that we develop internally. So it just depends. But people always forget about that upcoming thing, and it's a big one. It will be a bigger deal when it comes out for GrooveKart. GrooveKart is just going to be like bam after that comes out. So yeah, you'll see. I'm super happy about that. So I'm just trying to find that form platform right now, because Fluent Forms, there we go. Forms, let me show you. Oops, sorry about that. Fluent Forms has oh no, they have also a lifetime deal, but this is on WordPress. There is something with a very similar name. I cannot remember now. I will find it though. I will find it, and I will post about it in the comments of the question that asked. So there we go, ladies and gentlemen. That's basically what I wanted to have shared with you. We'll look into some of these issues, like for the connecting of domains that is being worked on. Also, the new issue with the GrooveVideo. Nobody from our company reported that yet, so that's strange, because we are the power users. We and our company uses Groove constantly, like day in and day out. So it's kind of strange that we didn't find out. That started happening most probably now. So we'll need to see what happens. But there's a question from Paul. Do you know if we can request the whole site not to be indexed by Google, like for a staging platform or something similar? Yes, you could. There is a code where it says for the robots to not come and basically check your site. And let me show you where to find more info about that. There is a post I created inside a Facebook community about this exact issue. There is a video from me, and basically a full code you could use. Let me see if I can find it by search. Here we go. Okay, the post name is, do you want to hide your page not to be found by search engines? This works for page, and this works also for site. So you just need to copy this code over to the page's head section, or the site's head section. Maybe just do pages and then manage this page by page, because you actually want the root domain to be found by the search engines. Maybe some of the pages of the site you wouldn't want, but that's something you would need to manage for yourself. Don't forget to take it off though, because that may cause SEO issues and your pages not to be indexed. But there you go. Look into this post from August 7, 2020. Do you want to hide your page not to be found by search engines? Use this code, and then you can also see this video on here. Any idea why customers get fraud alerts after purchasing from a GroovePages account and others don't? Purchasing from a GroovePages account. I don't understand the question. What do you mean? Do you mean if somebody purchases Groove Funnels as a suite of tools, some people get fraud alerts and some people don't? If that's the question, I don't know. But if somebody is purchasing from someone, for example, I purchase a product that you are selling, maybe your book. I saw that you're selling your book. I may get a fraud alert that could be connected with your payment gateway. Not sure exactly, but it could be just something with a payment gateway or some connection with a bank. To be honest, I don't really know. Someone purchases a book from a site built from Groove. Yeah, I guess that. So that's something to look into from the payment gateway side of things. It's nothing related to Groove, because the payment is not happening in Groove. We don't touch any credit cards. We don't touch anything. We basically say, okay, if somebody typed in this credit card number, send it to Stripe and process it. We don't even see the credit card numbers, really. We don't have any way of processing the cards except you're actually using GroovePay. Then in that case, you can reach out to GroovePay support. Otherwise, you can use Stripe or PayPal or wherever. They would be able to assist you with that. Would you only use that code that hides your site from search engines when a site is under development? Once finished, would you just delete the code till the site gets indexed? No, I would not use that code. This code would be used only in case I have pages that I don't want to promote. Like, for example, I have a thank you page where I actually deliver the content. Like, I have a download button on a thank you page, and that's the page I would hide from search engines. I would not hide a page in development, because that could mean that a search engine sends its robots to crawl your site and it doesn't find anything because you told him not to search it, and then at a later point you actually remove it, but Google doesn't send any more of those robots to crawl your site. So you need to go and request it yourself. So pages in development don't get crawled that quickly and that fast, so you don't have to worry about that. Pages in development most of the times will not get crawled. But if you actually have a page that is kind of published online and available publicly for a year, for example, and it's still in development, I'm pretty confident that will get crawled in at a certain point. But don't use this code on a whole site, on all of your pages, because that's not meant for that. This is non-index no follow is for those cases where you're having for example, a quiz where you're actually sending that page to your paid customers. Let's just say somebody purchased a product from you and you want to send them a form, a quiz to fill out in order to continue working with you. That's a page you don't want showing up in the search results anywhere. Or a thank you page with, as I said, content being delivered, or maybe an upgrade page that you don't want to show in the search results. Like, you don't want people to go directly to the upgrade page. You want them to go step by step through your funnel, but not directly to the upgrade page or something like that. Thanks for clarifying the search engine hide code query. My pleasure. Okay, cool. So I don't see any new questions. If there is any questions, guys, I could assist you. Please let me know. Okay, there's a question here from JNS. Do you think I can find someone in a Facebook group to create a funnel for me? Absolutely. There is people that are happy to help you with any kind of funnel builds. For example, Keisha here is also doing client work. And we had Milan over here earlier that is doing client work. So you can reach out. There is a lot of people. I don't know who will take up your offer, but try to explain a little bit of what you're trying to achieve inside the Facebook community. Create a nice post, and people will be joining in. For my supplement products, any name people you can recommend? There is quite a lot of people. I haven't had any of them build my sites yet, but there are a lot of great reviews being posted in the Facebook community. So just look into it a little bit. Just scroll through the posts. You will see a lot of people post about what they created for clients or for themselves, and just my suggestion would be just create a post and ask people to share the sites or maybe some references when they want to apply or something like that. Okay, thanks for all your help today, says Paul. My pleasure, Paul. Thank you for being here. I'm still scratching my head about that platform for the forms. I wanted to be helpful, but I cannot find it now. We're referring from Dupool on Dailify for Quiz Builder. No, it's a different one. It's something with F, something with, it's a very strange name they have. That's why I didn't remember it. But let me just find it. Like I cannot sleep now if I just leave this as it is. Let me see if I can find this for you. There's quite a lot of these groups that I am active in, and a lot of times I just see something but don't remember it fully. There we go. Okay, I believe I found it. Let me just share my screen and see if this is it. Yes, yeah, I believe that's it. Okay, so this is called native forms. If you go to native forms in Google, you'll find the actual you'll find reviews about it. You'll find also people talking about it. LTD is the lifetime deal, but you could also type in SaaS Mantra. SaaS Mantra is the actual platform that is selling this deal. So you can have a, come on, they sold out, they closed it already. I know that was it. That was Native Forms was the builder. It's a great one. They maybe ended this already, so 1 week ago. Yeah. So it could be that it already ended. So we'll need to look into this a little bit. Have a look if you can find if there are some other links online, but this was a very good with tons of connections, tons of things like webhooks and email templates and all sorts of different things. It integrates natively with a lot of stuff, and this was something that I saw that is getting shared around. Okay, perfect. So that's it, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you very much for being here. I appreciate your questions. Hopefully we'll get these issues sorted for the GrooveVideo for the custom domains. I will look into Keisha's and Eric's problem. I don't fully understand it yet. And also there's a question from Joanne about Groove Asia. Joanne, reach out to support. I wouldn't be able to assist you on that one part, but I'm pretty confident we can sort it pretty quickly. Other than that, thank you one more time for being here. Hopefully see you on Friday. And until then, I wish you a very pleasant rest of the week. Thank you, guys. Bye-bye.